Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 3.04% to 4862. Ethereum up 2.45% to 3063. Look at Luna. Luna is going crazy. This is going to be a quick episode. I put a lot of time and effort into episode 496. Does the DXY predict Bitcoin tops and bottoms? It's really useful. It has a lot of smart money skills in it. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention, which is measured through reality, which is price. We know how to mark up charts, look outside the crypto market and collect probabilities, go inside the crypto market and find the market's focus. We have a real wealth aspect to our view, and this is incredibly important. Because having money is really important, absolutely, but having meaning and happiness even more so. And then we get into the trigger section, buying and selling. Bitcoin is on its way up, but what is the catalyst? Rule 225, Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. And what do we actually see here? Looking at the fear, when we look at the VIX registered a bit of a spike early on and then sold off. And what do we see here? We actually see the Nasdaq 100 rallying. Notice how this blue line, that blue line is Bitcoin's fingerprint. We talk all about this. It's really, really important stuff. What we've seen is that Bitcoin has come up with the Nasdaq. Actually, the Nasdaq is absolutely showing us the direction of Bitcoin at this present time. What we'll find is that these will go out of correlation at some stage, but when we have dramatic sell downs in the stock market, we get this confluence, and it's really important to look at. We can see bond prices are oversold. We would expect a technical bounce at some stage. We can also see yields coming up, going parabolic. When we looked at gold, when it was going parabolic, and we looked at oil going parabolic, we said this thing needs to actually retrace, and that's what they do, and it's really important to keep this in mind. When we look at gold, gold is in an uptrend. It's actually got over a level of support. It's coming up to another level of resistance, but it's looking really healthy. And we said for many times that gold is in a long-term uptrend. When we look at the DXY is rallying at the moment. It's really useful to have a look at episode 496. What I actually do is I go through the association between the DXY and Bitcoin. A lot of people say that there's a hard and fast rule that when, for example, the DXY comes up, that means that Bitcoin is going down. But as you see in this episode, there's a lot of things that you need to look at. We look at the broader market because we need to understand what factors could influence Bitcoin, and there's a lot of them. But Rule 45 applies to our beloved alts. No beloved alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, and your beloved alts cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity either. When we look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we can see that there's been a lot of fear in the market, and there's certainly a lot of fear last night when the markets came down. But what we saw is the Nasdaq rallying. That gravity pulled up Bitcoin. We can also see that we're actually in the middle of a turnaround in Bitcoin's price action. And when we look at aggregated open interest, it's coming down to a support level. A lot of people say, Ken, you got to be kidding me. The stock market? Crypto's got nothing to do with the stock market. Okay, let's check that. What I've done is to just overlay the Nasdaq 100, that white line. What do you see here? The white line is just literally spiking up, and also we're getting spikes in Bitcoin's price action. This is actually quite normal. You might notice some really weird action. What's that line? Why are we getting all these lines in here? That's the weekend. The naughty stock markets just don't open on the weekend. Not like Bitcoin and crypto. Crypto is so cool. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Looking at the long and short behavior also gives us some indication the shorts were coming up and they were having their wicked way with Bitcoin's price action. What did it do? It literally hit that 39,084 level and it bounced. It just touched the B box. Oh, B box. And then it rallied up strongly. What is happening with all the longs? They're getting more and more confident. Liquidations over the past 24 hours are 286.38 million across 75,263 positions. And when we look over the past 24 hours, around 54% of liquidations have been long. But it's really interesting. If we look across the past 4 hours, nearly 93% have been short. It's quite good to actually go through the others. For example, over the past 12 hours, 82% of liquidations were short. 4 hours, about 93. And in the past hour, whoa, 97. People were absolutely certain that Bitcoin was going to go down. And what does certainty create? Certainty creates losses. It's a really, really hard thing to put up with. If you're actually looking for certainty, you'll get terrorized. Professionals go for probability and rules. So we can see this is giving us a bit of context in the actual view of what is going on right now. As the shorts get liquidated, they have to cover their positions by buying. That places upward price pressure on the actual market. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen next? Do you think we'll move into C or even D? Or do you think we'll stay in A or go down to B? Or do you think we'll go absolutely bananas and go to E? Please let me know in the comments. It's really great to discuss these things, and we've got a fantastic community in the comments section. One other point, friends don't let friends leverage trade. The concept is longs and shorts are always getting liquidated, and you can get liquidated in both directions. I know of so many people that have been wiped out because they hedge. They basically say, I'm protected. If price goes down, it's protected. If price goes up, I'm protected. And they get wiped out in both directions. Really, really dangerous thing to leverage trade until you absolutely know what you're doing. I mentioned before the total aggregated open interest was coming into a support level, and we can see a long-term uptrend here in futures open interest, and there's quite a good correlation between Bitcoin's price and futures open interest. I'm always looking for the best trading signal inside the market. This is one of them. It's really, really good to follow this. So what does it actually mean? What it means is we're getting over levels of resistance in Bitcoin. We're getting over levels of resistance in futures open interest. And that would actually make us believe that a big move to the upside would be in process. Do we bank on that? Do we say, oh, I'm absolutely certain we'll get a big move to the upside? If you do, certainty loses money. We can only go from probabilities. We're collecting probabilities now. That looks good. What are the top performers over the last 7 days? We can see audio, this pink line, doing really well, up 33.46%. DCR, up nearly 21. Comp, over 20%. SNX, nearly 16, just about 15.5. Bitcoin Cash, 15%. SXP, Swipe, 13.65%. Following that, we can see SHIB and EOS both up over 10%. Let's go the other way. What are the worst performers? Poor old Cell, nearly down 19%. Waves, down about 10%. MENA, 6.72%. HNT, 5%. ZVX, CVX, nearly 5%. And Engine, down around 5% as well. So what's happening inside the crypto market? Remember how we were talking yesterday about Bitcoin maintaining this support level, and I kept on saying it could come down, do one of these wicks. We were actually waiting for it, expecting it. It just did a little wick. Oh, how disappointing, Bitcoin. But, you know, this is really good. It's nice to see the market green. And when the market goes green, it goes green really, really quickly. We understand that your beloved alts cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity, and Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market. We need to look like detectives throughout the entire market. What do we see here? Ethereum dipped down just like Bitcoin did, surprise, surprise, and then rallied just like Bitcoin did. Why? Because this is what gravity does. It pulls things up and pulls things down as well. What we can see is that Ethereum is quite strong, but it's always following Bitcoin's gravity. Binance Coin following Bitcoin's gravity as well. XRP following it. We're actually coming into a level of resistance. We're a little bit away from a previous peak. Just be aware of this. Price is always moving in a wave. It goes up and it goes down. We can see ADA, Cardano coming up, following Bitcoin's gravity. They are all following Bitcoin's gravity. Solana doing exactly the same. That's why you keep your eye on Bitcoin. Notice what Bitcoin is doing and get a strategy based on that and apply it to your alts. It's literally a license to print money, but you must know what you're doing as well. You always have to have knowledge. You don't want to put your finger up in the air and say, I think the wind is blowing. You need to collect, like a detective, as much information as you possibly can. Let's have a look at Luna. Luna dipped down and then bolted up. Luna is crazy in terms of price action. Please be aware of that. And I said a couple of days ago that I was involved in a Luna trade. This is really good. Luna is powerful, but it's really, really spiky. And I said to people, please be aware that it could spike down to around the $60 mark. If you're prepared to get losses like that, that's good. Remember that you're always buying in levels, not just one level. If you're buying in one level, it's like you're going all in on one level, and then you get emotionally tied to that. Don't think that way. For example, a lot of people in here, when we were looking at ADA, they wanted to buy the bottom and they waited for price to go up. It's impossible to buy on green after price has already left a particular low point to go back in time and buy the bottom. And unfortunately, zone 1 and zone 2, investors and traders, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. What happens is people want to buy the bottom, but they're not prepared to take a loss. Professionals are exactly the opposite. They're not just prepared to take a loss, that's their default position. They actually accumulate losses on the way down, making percentages work for them. They don't care about exact bottoms or exact tops because they know what they're getting into in the first place. This is a really, really important concept because so many people say, oh, I missed the bottom, I should have been in the bottom, but they are not prepared to buy on red. Just ask yourself this, are you prepared to Borsog? Let's understand Borsog better. That's rule 621. Buy on red, sell on green. Borsog, the price eagle, screeches when price is low. Borsog wants a low price. Prices that actually accumulate losses. He's always buying on red, swooping down from the sky and buying on red. Go Borsog. And congratulations to Mangi for buying the first Borsog NFT. I hear a lot of times with people that they say, I didn't buy the bottom, therefore I missed the move. If you feel this way, please don't. Professionals always buy on red and they sell on green. It's a very, very different way to do things. Most investors and traders, retail, buy on green when the price is going up and sell on red when they feel price is just going to keep on going down and they can't handle the loss. You can see how you could get caught in a really, really bad cycle. That's why we absolutely focus on Borsog. Buy on red, sell on green, and we know price is always moving in waves. So we can see AVAX did a bit of a ping from its support line. It's looking really, really good. I really like AVAX. Let's have a look through the community favorites. We can see Gala came down as Bitcoin came down and also came up as Bitcoin came up. This is the gravity. This is why if you only go and have a look at your beloved alt, you're going to lose money. I guarantee you over time. You will. You cannot assess your alt without first assessing Bitcoin. That's why we do this every single day. We must know. A lot of people in the crypto market don't do this, and they just focus on a particular alt without the understanding of what the markets are doing, with what Bitcoin is doing. You cannot predict what your alt will do. It's impossible to do. RSR is coming up following Bitcoin's gravity. Look at Icon. This is going to make a lot of people happy. That was a very strong reflection there. Sharp angles reflect, and it did it really nicely. Well done, Icon. And we can see the same sharp angle reflecting in Veracity, VRA. ZIL is coming up. You can see all of them are basically coming up to a level of support here. And we can see Rune doing the same thing. This is why you need to look at Bitcoin, because you can see Bitcoin's playing out, patterns playing out on all of the alts. And we can see IOTA doing the same thing. DOT also doing the same thing. Let's have a look at a couple more, some bonuses. What about Matic? Whoa, go Matic. This is beautiful. That's so much strength. A lot of people will say, I've got to get in on this kind of action. That's showing a lot of strength. Remember, price moves in waves. Please always remember Rule 4, price moves in waves. This is really, really important to understand. When a particular crypto has rallied up, always keep this in your mind before you place any buy or any sell. It's really, really vital to your profitability. For example, a lot of people would say, oh, Matic is going up to the sky, I have to get in. Price is always moving in a wave, so you don't want to FOMO in. You just want a very calculated approach to your investing and trading. And always think about it like this. If you're investing, you want to get rid of emotion. If you're trading, you want to get rid of emotion. If you're finding that you're going through hope, optimism, thrill, euphoria, anxiety, denial, panic selling, hope, optimism, if you're caught in this, you're caught up in a retail mindset. And that's 95% of people. So please get out of that mindset into zone 3 and zone 4, which is smart money. Smart money does not get angry. Smart money is consistent, and they don't get euphoric either. They just understand that there are very important rules that they must follow. They're unemotional. They are professionals. And it makes a really big difference when you buy. For example, if you bought Matic up around here, you need to wait for price to get above that until you profit. But if you bought Matic down here, like coming down, borsogging it down, and you don't worry about picking the bottom, you just ignore the concept of a bottom or a top, and then you just scaled out as it was going green, you can buy in as it's going red and scale out as it's going green. Now, why would we do this? Why wouldn't we just hold on forever? We could do that. We could have diamond hands and hodl, 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 no matter what the price was doing. Or we could seek to turn a small percentage on a regular basis and have those returns aggregating. If we did 10% per week, and it really depends what the market does, if we can get this or not, but you always need knowledge and rules and patience and a real wealth focus. I believe the real wealth focus is the most important thing you need, because when you get money, if you don't actually combat self-sabotage and self-doubt, you will always buy at the wrong spots and sell at the wrong spots. What are we looking at here? If we did 10% per week, that's 117.4x in a year. We're not saying that we want to do 10%. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can do far more in a week. But the concept is you don't have to have a lot to end up with a lot, but you must have the knowledge, the rules, the patience, real wealth, and you must borsog. We can see Matic is doing really well, but we also know Matic is very spiky. It's always moving up and down. We don't have any fear of missing out. We are not emotional. We are professional. We are not retail. When we look at Atom, Cosmos, we can see it's just come back up to a resistance line. NIR is doing really nicely as well. A little bit over resistance. This could be very interesting. Matic could be interesting, NIR could be interesting, but don't forget these things can fall. NIR could fall. You must be prepared for the fall if it occurs. You have to be psychologically ready for anything to play out. That's why I always talk about making in advance probabilistic choices. If you went into NIR and it suddenly collapsed, what would you do? Would you sell? Would you hold? If you're under leverage, you probably get liquidated. So that's why we say, friends, don't let friends leverage trade. What would you do if it goes up? Would you hodl or would you seek to sell? What if it goes sideways? What would you do then? These are all really important questions to cover before you invest or trade. We can see Rose has absolutely come up very sharply, very nice. CHR done the same thing. Phantom done the same thing. LRC is looking really powerful, much more powerful than what Matic is at the moment. Even indeed what NIR is at the moment. This is really good price action. But remember, price moves in a wave. Let's have a look at Axie Infinity, also looking very nice. We always prepare ourselves for these sharp sell-offs below a level of support. Why do we do that? Because that's what smart money does. We could even get another wick down here. For example, look at this first wick. Came up and then second wick. First wick, came up, second wick. What are we seeing here? Well, this could be a first wick, this could be a second. We may have actually repaired and things are going up. Although, maybe, and I think the probability is still on the cards, we may get a second dip down. It will just push the market into confusion, and that's what smart money always does. What are we seeking here? These long tail rejections are institutional wicks. The institutions want to push price down as far as they can push it, and then push it up and sell it and push it down. This is why price is always moving in a wave. Let me know in the comments section, what do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin? Do you think we'll see another sharp reflective spike like these two spikes? Or do you think it's all over and it's only up from here? That's really good. And let me know if you're involved with Luna, how are you going with that trade? Are you thinking of scaling out or are you thinking of something else? And how about AVAX? It's very interesting to actually monitor these. I want to thank everybody in the community for their fantastic comments. It's just so terrific for people to talk to each other and actually discuss things through. And what we can see here, Luna, NIR, Rune, STX, XMR, ZEC, Matic, LRC, Theta, GMT, Arweave. We can see that there's quite a bit of green inside the market, and we know why that is the case, because Bitcoin is rallying. So many people would like to participate in the big rallies, but that requires you buy at a loss. A lot of people can't stomach that loss, and that's why they don't buy on the way down. Professionals always buy on the way down because that actually moves the percentage in your favor. But you just don't buy anything. You need to know what you're buying. That's why becoming a crypto technical analyst is such a profitable journey, because you're looking at the reality of price, not future promises, and you're scientifically tracking investor attention through a scientifically based framework that works for crypto. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the community. We'd love to have you as part of our global family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students, and of course a very big thank you to you, for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please reach out to an ambassador by clicking this link here to get 80% off. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.